Okay.
How exciting. We have everybody. We have a piano, we have a piano player, we have candles. Margaux, could you mute yourself, please?
We're asking Margaux to move.
Margaux, can you mute yourself?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right. Great. Now we'll start. Do you want to open us the service?
A little bit, sure.
Yeah, that'd be great. Praise Him for the space. Yeah, so I thought it would be nice for the chalice lighting words to read from Robert Frost, um, whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Seemed like everybody's, it's the longest day of the year, right? So Maricel Gomez, our Buddhist colleague, says that this is International Meditation Day. Hey, so welcome. And also that she's part of the Plum Village Thich Nhat Hanh's lineage, and in their International Meditation today, one of the Buddhist monks said that today is some very special day when all the things of the I Ching line up. And this will not happen again for 147 years or something like that. Wow. And that on this day, the universe is very open to our intentions. And therefore, we need to set our intentions into the space. So I hope as we all share that we'll all think about an intention that we would like to put into the universe for the next 147 years, or whatever, for tomorrow. And so the plan for today is we will light the chalice. Frank, would you like to light the chalice?
Sure.
So everybody knows about the new chalice, which was donated by our board president, Darcy, and was meant to bring us into the new era, because the previous beautiful chalice, which was donated by the Slavaks, had symbols of various faiths. But as there are millions more faiths than there are symbols on that chalice, it seems better and more like our times to have something more abstract. And so, thank you, Frank.
Lots of candles to light.
No,
You don't light those?
that's part of the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You light them when,
Yeah,
as we
yeah,
go
yeah.
along.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let those burn.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It's a
Yeah.
good starter set.
Yeah.
Great, good starter set. So this is our chalice, and everybody knows the story of the chalice, that it was really developed in World War II as a symbol against fascism, and as a burning, the light we keep burning of decency and humanism and democracy. There it is. And so what we're going to do today is our annual sweetness swap, which, in addition to delicious desserts out there calling to us, is a time when we share stories, poems, music, singing, anything you want to share. And please light a candle. And we'll just go around the room, and everybody can add to the room whatever you want. And just remember that this is a very special day. The universe is very open to us. So we're giving sweetness to the whole universe. And so who would like to start?
I'll start.
Thank you, Karen. Please come up.
I'm not carrying my computer though. Weighs about 20 pounds. I found this poem called The Shortest Day by Susan Cooper. So the shortest day came, and the year died, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees, they hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Though through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing below us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight, the shortest day. As promise wakens in the sleeping land, they carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. And so do we here now, this year and every year. Welcome you all.
Nice.
Thank you.
I think this is an As the Spirit Moves You.
Yeah, I'll go next. So I was giving some thought to my history here, my tenure, how long I've been a member of this congregation for 27 years, and it's kind of alarming to an extent to think now, I'm one of the elders. So when we're having conversation about, things that have gone on in the past, people will sometimes turn to me for some history. And I remember very well the people who were the elders when I came here, like Malcolm Blodgett and Howard Mills, and so many who, over the years, held this place together. But not just held it together, really gave it life. I mean, Malcolm and his wife were just astounding people. They were musicians, and they were just wonderful and welcoming people. So it's nice company to be in. I don't know that I'm up for it, but I think going forward, it's nice to be part of this family. So I wanted to read, and I think I've read this before. I don't know if it was here, but I know I've read the poem before. Amazing Peace, a Christmas poem by Maya Angelou. Thunder rumbles in the mountain passes, and lightning rattles the eaves of our houses. Floodwaters await us in our avenues. Snow falls upon snow, falls upon snow to avalanche our unprotected villages. The sky slips low and gray and threatening. We question ourselves. What have we done to so affront nature? We worry God. Are you there? Are you really there? Does the covenant you made with us still hold? Into this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters, streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up in the air, in the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor, come the way of friendship. It is a glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Floodwaters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us all. As we make our way to higher ground, hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides on the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate which crouches breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first, it is too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It is loud now. It is louder, louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at the sound. We are thrilled by its presence. It is what we have hungered for, not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies, security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We, Unitarian Universalist, Baptist, Buddhist, Methodist, and Muslim say, come, peace. Come and fill us and our world with your majesty. We, the Jew and the Jainist, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us, so we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. It is Christmas time, a halting of hate time. On this platform of peace, we can create a language to translate ourselves to ourselves and to each other. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Christ into the great religions of the world. We jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues at the coming of hope. All the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate the promise of peace. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at each other, then into ourselves, and we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother, peace, my sister, peace, my soul. Thank you. Oh, well, I already lit one. Karen's got one, so
Yeah.
I think we're good.
We lit one for both of us.
Yeah.
In lieu of a poem, I have only my music, but I would like to share a few anecdotes and observations when I'm thinking back about the year. And to me, I really visualize the arc of life and what I've seen. Even in this congregation, I'm not quite an elder yet, but I've been here enough years to see Tyler grow up here. He's now 30, doing very well. And I remember him as a little kid in the OWL program. Just so many great things. The biggest white knuckle thing that we did was to let him go with an international exchange student to the Czech Republic, and he stayed in Prague when he was 15. It worked out well, and he went on his own to the First UU Church, where I believe the Flower Communion, the whole event started.
Norbert Chapek.
Norbert Chapek, exactly. And he introduced himself, and they gave him a piece of sheet music to give to me, which was beautiful. It was a piano rendition of Smetana's Moldau, which is just a gorgeous Slavic tune. And it's one of those things that I would grab if there was a fire on the way out. It's just a wonderful thing. And then I think about my second cousin, Anne, who I never met, but she passed away not too long ago. She was 103. And she told me that she was living in New Berlin, New York at the time, and it was during the advent of electricity when it came into homes. And the servicemen would demonstrate the plug, and when they unplugged it, they would hold it up for a few seconds, thinking like a garden hose, some might spill out. Literally, that was that. And even though I never met her, she was communicating with me on email. And I think about that arc from an electric plug all the way to email. It was just amazing to think about the progress. And about a week and a half ago, I was a pallbearer for my friend's mother, Margaux Simmons, who you know. Stella was wonderful. She was 102. Led a great long life. And I asked her, you know, what's the secret? And she was very clear about that. She said, don't worry too much. Just be a little more casual. That was her secret, 102. Great life. So here's great advice. Here's an arc of people who've lived so long that you have to imagine. I imagine, what would my parents think now with the technology we have and the environment we're in, the political skullduggery, whatever it is. We just have so much going on now that wasn't happening then. What will be in the next arc? And it's really fascinating to think about that. But I'm glad to be on my way up as an elder statesman at some point. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
You could light a candle.
Yeah. Hi, Molly.
Happy solstice. Hi, Margaux. Okay, so, you know, I go on the social media, which is like chaos. I mean, it's really chaos at this point. But sometimes there's like these little treasures. So I follow this really nice account that's called Read a Little Poem, and they just post like really great, often like poetry from like more recent, like contemporary poets, and I really like the poetry that they share. And this was one of a poem that I read this year on on Instagram. But I thought it was really, I just thought it was very beautiful. And it is called, At Church, I Tell My Mom She's Singing Off Key, and she says, I ain't off key. I just stepped out the key, so when I return, you can understand the key a little better. The preacher isn't the only teacher. Why hit a note on the head when I can kill it? You mean to tell me you come here week after week and want the same old amazing grace? Just because the blood will never lose its power don't mean a melody won't. My ministry may not be sung, but I got a song to sing. I done made it from Sunday to Sunday. You expect me not to celebrate and thank God with my hands raised, my flats off, my full and open throat. It's by Michael Frazier.
Nice. Really cool.
Thank you, Karen.
I didn't know what to expect. I just read what was on the website, bring a candle, bring a sweet, and bring a story. And so I did all three, and I don't really have a story, but I was looking back. You said to look back on the year, and it's been a little bit of a challenging year, and but I got some words of wisdom through the year, and one of them was that when things get tough, just keep going, but also take care of yourself. Take some time to take care of yourself. And then also, when you get a challenge like technology, or you have something new that you've never done before and you're a little bit afraid of, look at it not as just being afraid, but look at it as, oh, you're learning something new that you never knew before. And then I got a little message somewhere along the line that said, everything's going to be okay. Relax and do the best that you can do. And those three things have gotten me through this year with a lot of things. My mom's going to be 102 on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, so she has her physical challenges. Luckily, mentally, her mind is still good. And some of the blessings that we've had, we never know from day to day how she's going to be. But we've had some really beautiful times together, you know, where we've been able to sit and talk and reminisce. She loves to reminisce, you know, she'll talk about orange and things in orange, you know, stuff like that. So there's some of the treasures that came through for me this year.
Thank you. And you have cool party shoes on.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
They are great.
It's been a small world. Karen and I are high school classmates. Okay, so Shasmita Mukherjee is somebody that I met through a cousin who works at Cornell, and she's a scientist and mystic in the Bengali tradition.
Wow.
Yeah, so she has really cool things to say. And so she's been doing a series, you know, on Advent, and so this is called The Longest Night. December 20, eve of the winter solstice. Tomorrow the sun reaches its nadir, the longest night, the deepest dark. This is the night before the birth, the night when nothing is certain yet. Mary is pregnant, 9 months, maybe more. Traveling on foot or donkey, accounts differ through cold December terrain. Joseph beside her, unable to guarantee shelter, safety, survival. They're displaced, fleeing census, no room anywhere. The baby could come at any moment on the road in the cold without help. Childbirth in those conditions meant Mary could die, the baby could die. No midwives, no women to hold her through it, just Joseph, terrified, and the dark. This is the story the dominant culture has sanitized, made it glow, made it inevitable, as if the birth were guaranteed, as if the journey ended safely, because we know how the story goes, but they didn't know. On December 20, on the road, in the dark, Mary doesn't know if she'll survive this. The journey is happening now, everywhere. Congolese women, refugees in their own country, fleeing militia violence in eastern DRC, walking with children, carrying what they can, sexual violence as a weapon of war, IDP camps that aren't safety, just different danger, pregnant women giving birth in displacement, no guarantee of survival, migrants crossing the Mediterranean, bodies washing up on beaches, children in flimsy boats, the sea that gives and takes, family at the US-Mexico border, walking through desert, through cold, separated, detained. Today is stable, a detention center in the middle of nowhere, or no shelter at all. And families leaving the United States, parents with trans children who no longer feel safe in their own country, packing up, moving to Canada, Europe, anywhere that might protect their kids. Refugees from laws that criminalize care. Exiles from the place they called home. And the uncomfortable journeys, the one the dominant culture has no container to hold. Al-Qaeda wives, stateless, denied return to countries that won't claim them. Women who married into extremism, choice, coercion, somewhere in between. Their children born in camps, guilt by association. Who deserves sanctuary? Who gets to be Mary on the road? The culture wants clear heroes and villains. Can't hold. maybe she was coerced and made choices, and her children are innocent, and she's still human, and the question is more complicated than we want it to be. Mary wasn't deserving by empire standards either. Poor from occupied territory, traveling without proper documentation, pregnant outside marriage. The story says divine, but who believed her? If Mary showed up at our border today, politically or psychologically, would we let her in? This is the longest night. Not the night after the birth when the baby is safe, the nights before when nothing is guaranteed, when the pregnant woman is on the road and we don't know if she'll make it. This is where we live, in the uncertainty, in the darkness that might not break into light, in the journey that has no promised ending. And yet, people move anyway, not because they're guaranteed to arrive, not because optimism says it will work out, but because staying means certain death or harm, so they take the journey into uncertainty. This is hope, not the shallow kind that believes everything will be fine, but the kind that moves when staying still means dying, the kind that walks even when the destination isn't guaranteed, the kind that births even when survival isn't promised.
Wow.
Margaret, do you want to go? You can unmute.
Yes.
I will try to send you this.
Sure.
And then to end things.
Did you say me?
You have to
Can you-
light a candle first.
Can you pin Margaux? Oh, there.
No, she can, it's a split screen. Oh, sorry.
There you are, Margaux. Now we can all see you.
Okay, wonderful. Hello, all. I'm very happy to be with you today. It's especially wonderful on the winter solstice, which is also the birth date of my father. So I'm really thrilled. I like these sweetness swaps are wonderful that we do. I want to read to you a couple of things. I got also so, the social media. I got a great statement from the Muwekwa Ohlone Nation, which is the area who live in the area that is now San Jose, California. But this talks about the winter solstice. As the winter solstice arrives, we pause. For our people, the winter solstice has always been a time of remembering. When the sun is at its weakest, we are reminded to turn inward. Through stories, ceremonies, and prayer, we honor the balance between darkness and light. This is not an ending, it is a renewal. The earth rests, so do we. And together, we prepare for what comes next. As the days begin to lengthen, we carry our teachings forward for the land, for our people, and for the generations yet to come. And I wanted to read something, the poem by Joy Harjo, ex-poet laureate for the United States. The poem, Remember. Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving way to night. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life, and her mother's, and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them, listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind, Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember you are all people, and all people are you. Remember you are this universe, and this universe is you. Remember all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember language comes from this. Remember the dance language is that life is. Remember.
Very nice.
Did you want to light a candle for Margaux, James?
Oh, I thought you, okay.
No, I just lit a candle for me.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, I'll say something. I only read the part where it said, bring a candle and bring something sweet. I didn't hear the part about a story or, because I didn't read everything, but, I'll recite a short poem I wrote a long time ago in the 80s. It's like kind of a high, well anyway, it just goes like this. I am new, unique, and different, never seen before, nor will be seen again. I breathe in air and convert it into energy. I walk along like the lonesome cowboy. I'm a miracle. So, what I've learned since then is that I'm not alone as much, and being with all you guys here, I feel like I found a community that, you know, kind of like identifies with my soul, you know, because you guys all care about life and the planet and people, and you're like intelligent and aware, and but you're not, like, you're also aware of like psychology and art and everything. So I really like that, you know, having that, yeah, it's important to me. And, you know, I have a lot of friends and acquaintances, but not everybody's like all those things together, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful, you know, to be a part of this group and meet new people and learn new things, and I think some of the things I learned this year are like to like be more part of like try to speak up to people more and have more conversations and be more comfortable, you know, doing that, and just getting to know other people, even though, well, anyway, yeah, I learned that, and I was gonna say something else, but I don't want to go into that. But yeah, I learned that, and also just realizing that lately, and my friend was kind of telling me, he realized this, my friend around the corner where I used to live, you know, like just realizing all the blessings like we have in our life, you know, that even though we all have our own problems or health issues or troubles, like it's just like the way we think about it in our mind and deal with it also affects us being able to deal with it more, or be more, you know, uncomfortable or being comfortable. I'm not saying this right, but, you know, he's like suffering with pain in his leg, and he's like, well, I don't have cancer, and I can, you know, like kind of not making it more than it is, but dealing with it and keep moving forward and trying to be part of the world and contribute, you know, like it's, and that helps us get over whatever is afflicting us. So that's it. Thanks.
I can go. So I'm sorry I'm late. There's a reason, and the reason has to do with the traditions and the everything that this season brings. I was at Clifton Common, and it's the weekend before Christmas, and I got to experience firsthand, what's that called? When nobody can move, gridlock. Literally gridlock in the parking lot. Nobody could move, and I was in the middle of it, and just got to see it unfold. Because this holiday comes with beauty and wonderful, you know, being with family, and it comes with gridlock. And I've always felt like this holiday's not only joyful for me, but it also, leading up to it, is a difficult period because of historical reasons. And I always felt like once I realized that the solstice came just before Christmas every year, I thought, if I can make it to the solstice, then the light will come again and I can make it beyond. So it became this, I'll make it to the solstice. That's all I need to do. And when the solstice comes and the days start getting, like from here on out, folks, the days are getting longer, the light's gonna come, we'll make it through the holidays, and it's gonna get brighter. And so the solstice became hugely important for me, almost surpassing Christmas, I think, pretty much, in that it's like, it's one of those touchstones. And then, 2 years ago, I think, I came to the candle exchange, which was around solstice. I'm not sure it ever lands on solstice, but
No.
I don't think it has.
it hasn't. But for some, and I felt like, oh, there you go. That is something I need right in the midst of all of the gridlock. I need this. So I was very happy to experience the candle exchange the first time. And it's one of my traditions now. Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks.
I have two little poems. Well, one of them's a poem, one of them's sort of somewhere between poem and music. This is one by Robert Lax, who was a college friend of Thomas Merton's, and then he sort of went to live on a Greek island by himself and write. Sorry, Janice. The first one's by Robert Lax, who was a college friend of Thomas Merton's, and then went to live his life on an island in Greece and write poetry. But this is one of his earlier works from a book called The Circus of the Sun, and it's well, I don't need to explain it. It's surprisingly I think. Anyway, this is called Morning. It's the first chapter in the book, which traces a day. In the beginning of time, to say the least, there were the compasses, whirling in void, their feet traced out beginnings and endings, beginning and end in a single line. Wisdom danced, also in circles, for these were her kingdom. The sun spun, worlds whirled, the seasons came round, and all things went their rounds. But in the beginning, beginning and end were in one. And in the beginning was love. Love made a sphere. All things grew within it. The sphere then encompassed beginnings and endings, beginning and end. Love had a compass whose whirling dance traced out a sphere of love in the void. In the center thereof rose a fountain. Fields were set for the stars, fields were set for the circus, stars for shows before ever elephant lumbered or tent rose. And the second one is by Kazim Ali. I'll just read the last one of these. It's called Praise. All hum do, all law, all praise do. Open the mouth as stage or staging area, and air to pray, violent ire spin, skay sled, sky pent wood fain. Refeel the villains at hand, their handle of hand, swelling to haunt what's left of villain via askant, low laws, legible slayings, legislating the man on the ground, his cheek pressed, knee in his back scance, breath canch and hands drawn to slow down his breath. All laws praise to hum, then do all reeve, detrave, canch, unhanced breathe.
Was there punctuation in that poem? Just
No,
curious.
Not much.
Yeah.
But the usual, capital letters and spaces and things.
Yeah.
I heard Kazim read at the Newark poetry festival thing, this past summer, and they have the transcription, some sort of machine doing live transcriptions and it's just utter nonsense.
I think we did good. I'm gonna light the last couple of candles, and then I propose that we turn out the lights for a few minutes, this being International Meditation Day, and perhaps Bill will play some meditation music, and we can sit together.
That'd be
And,
nice.
Does that feel good?
Yeah. I wanted to just add a little something after hearing what Sue had to say and, the recognition of our group over the last year. It's really wonderful that there are so many people who once belonged to this congregation who are now part of it in another way, in a new way. And I'm really grateful for that. Sue and some of the members of the Montclair congregation have become good friends. And it's really added a quality and a depth to our group. So thank you for that, Sue.
Is this the light?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's 3 switches.
There's 3 there, Mindy.
All 3 of them. There you go.
Did that work?
Yeah.
That looks
glad that we were able to be together and to minister to one another as we have today. So grateful for all the stories and the music and the candles we have shared. And so with that, I suggest that we have sweets and tea. Any last thoughts or words as we adjourn that people would like to add? As we all know, tomorrow it'll be one day longer. Thanks for helping us get to this turning point. We're going to keep going forward. Bye, Margaux.
Bye. Bye bye. So happy to be with you. Bye bye.